What's up, y'all? Rich Slaton here, and joined by two very special guests because it's a very special day. The No Tilt Worlds bracket rounds are about to begin, and as you can see, joining me all the way from, well, DC or Venezuela, who knows, right now in the beautiful country of Mexico, my good friend Victor Bem, aka Kojisan, and the other guy, you might know him, you might not. He makes some YouTube videos. Welcome, my friend and yours, Clash with Ash, onto the channel. Guys, thanks for coming on. This has been a fun tournament. Victor, you're putting together something really, really amazing. And Ash, you just jumped on the No Tilt Worlds team. So before we jump into breaking down this bracket and voting on who we think is going to be, we're going to decide the champion right now. That's going to happen on this episode. So Koji, just really quickly, tell people what No Tilt Worlds is about if they haven't seen it yet and how you guys are feeling so far.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me here today. And well, what is No Tilt Worlds? It's the best event you can have in Clash Royale right now. Why I'm saying that is because we're doing nation-based. We're doing it by countries. I mean, who doesn't want to root for their own country? That's the main thing about it. As of now, we're doing a great job. We just finished all the group stages. We have the best 16 countries in the world. And I think we did a great job. The metrics are amazing. Supercell is happy. You're happy. I'm happy. Ash is happy.
I'm so happy, man.
And the community is amazing, so happy, and we're breaking every record. So that's what it is. It's a country-based tournament with the same rules of a World Cup, a soccer World Cup. It's great.
And Ash, you just joined onto the No Tilt team. Can you tell us a little bit about what that means and what you guys are doing together?
Yeah, sure. It means I signed away my life to Koji and Manu, and now I'm broke, and I'm joking. These guys are doing something tremendous. You know, not to continue to just suck up to the tournament and to Koji and Manu, what they've accomplished with their whole team. But, you know, I knew about this a few months before it was released. Koji and I go way, way back. And I think that, you know, one time I remember, you might not remember, you might have been a little cloudy, Koji, but I remember having drinks together one time. We're like, well, let's go to business together. Like, we're going to do something special together. And then I saw you guys doing this, and I just wanted to get involved. You know, I think it's, you know, all jokes aside, I think it's the best tournament right now inside Clash Royale. It is by far and away the best tournament, maybe the best tournament ever inside Clash Royale. Certainly the best, kind of right up there with RPL in terms of community-based non-Supercell tournament. And I just wanted to get on board in any way possible. So what does it mean? It means that I'm on the team. I'm going to help, not just in Clash Royale, actually, but No Tilt looks to expand to tons of mobile titles and just continuing to make this magic happen over and over again in Clash Royales, in the Supercell ecosystem, and beyond.
You heard it here first. The World Candy Crush Championship coming soon due to No Tilt and our friend Clash with Ash. So
Flappy Bird too. Flappy Bird. We're bringing it back.
Before we waste any more time, we have a lot of matches to decide because we are going to pick a champion today, and that champion will probably be the actual champion. So let's start on the left side of the bracket. 16 teams currently in the tournament. Going to get down to one. And the first matchup, left-hand side of the bracket, Brazil versus South Korea. And Brazil has one of the more stacked lineups with a lot of CRL players, active CRL players, including the I believe, signed Coca RX to Pain Gaming, along with Basoto, Surge TS, Henankava, Wallace, and Luke Dubs. And over on the side of South Korea, also containing some players who will make an appearance in CRL West, TNT, and as I said it here, Jupiter King going to be on Tribe this season, along with Dandelion, Sato, Line, and one of your favorites, Expo Master. So we got to pick a winner in this one. It's already difficult now.
This is tough.
So, I mean, Ash, I'll give you a second to sit with it because I see that there's pain on your face, but Koji always has a strong opinion. Victor, is it going to be Brazil or South Korea going through to the next round?
I have the same face. It's very painful to choose this one. You know where I'm going with this. It is very tough. I think it's almost a 50-50, but because of the experience in other tournaments that we have done online, and also the only time when we did this event with a different setup, we did it live in Spain. The winner was Brazil. So they have a lot of experience. So I would give a 55 to 45% chance to Brazil. So that's it. I'm going with Brazil.
All right. Ash, do you concur?
This is a real, like Koji said, this one's a coin flip. You got to have a lot of respect for this Korean team, right? They've got the best players, really. I want to say in all of Korea on this squad. TNT, Jupiter King, Dandelion. I'm a huge fan of. Actually, Expo Master's great, but I'm almost higher right now on Dandelion than I am on Expo Master. Anyway, with all that said, I'm agree. If this is a live tournament in studio, I would take Korea. But it's not, and I think that Brazil has that talent in guys like Basoto, who I think are incredible and have done better online tournaments. I'm going to go take Brazil for that reason. So Brazil moves on.
All right, Brazil, a 3-0 team that moves on to the next round. South Korea falling in the round of 16. You heard it here first. And who will be facing Brazil in the round of 8 when we get to quarterfinals? It's going to be either Argentina or Canada. Argentina just closed things out in their last match day. Canada has made a couple of big showings and got through on a 2-1. Let's take a look at that Canadian lineup for 1 second. Canada with Swood, Fetus Jr., Sweep, Pollux, Rubix, and Malunton, who's been with Kicks. And then over on the Argentinian side, some really talented players who I got a chance to see in CRO West this season, including Lince, Framcito, Matias, Franco Medina, Nitram, and Ali. So Koji went first last time. Over on to the Ash side this time. So we're taking a look at Argentina and Canada. I think this is one of the tougher ones to pick in the early rounds.
Well, I want to be controversial, and I don't think this is a tough one. I'm going Canada, man. I think that Canada has this. Koji's mad. You think I'm crazy. Dude, you think it's not close either. Dude, here's the thing. I'm biased, as are we all, right? And dude, I got so much love for my man Sweep. He is the guy who's been on my channel so many times. He swept. We saw him sweep earlier. And I just think he has a lot of talent. I think that he could play in CRL. And I also love Light Pollux, man. He's a really, really, really good dude. And of course, being a good dude definitely helps you in Clash Royale. So, you know what, guys? I saw the reaction on Koji's face, right? And he's going to go against me here. There's no doubt about it. Argentina has a great, and Fetus Jr. is really good too. Argentina has a great squad, but I'm going Canada.
Wow. So, Victor, I have a feeling that you're going to make me be the tiebreaker here. Koji, lay it down.
Yeah.
Why is Argentina going to the next round?
Yeah, first of all, that I didn't know how this worked. So now I understood. So you are going to be the tiebreaker in case it's needed. That's why before you didn't vote. Am I right?
There we go.
Okay, perfect. So this one you're going to need to vote.
Yeah.
Definitely. I have the same position as Ash. I think it's loop-sided, but it goes with Argentina. Why? Because I strongly believe, and I said it in my stream in Spanish, and I got a lot of haters, and actually Canadians that are looking at me right now. The Stats Royale, the guy's Canadian, and I told him that I did say this live, and I would say it again. I did say that I felt that the two teams that should have advanced in that group was Venezuela, which is my team, and they got disqualified, and Mexico. Why do I say that? Because Canada is winning because what Ash said is because of Sweep. It's no other reason. They are not playing extremely good as a team. And Sweep also, I'm going to say something, he's like a one-trick kind of guy. He's using the Elixir Golem or the regular Golem with the same support troops. It's a beat-down concept, and people didn't counter. He plays amazing both concepts, with the regular Golem or the Elixir. I don't think Argentina is going to be fooled by it. LK has a lot of experience. I think it might be even a 2-0, man. So that's it, Argentina.
Who do you consider Argentina's best player?
That's the issue. It's Franco, which was fourth on WCG, and I strongly believe if Juicy J didn't have trained Deepos there to give him the decks, that guy would have been the champion. No doubt about it. He had zero help, and he was destroying everybody. When he was there in China, I think trainer Deepos read him like a book, and he couldn't do anything.
You know what? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm still going with Canada, but I'm looking at the roster right now on the other screen. I'm like, yeah, dude, they're good, but yeah, I'm still sticking with Canada.
All right,
Rich,
here comes your tiebreaker vote. And, Franco's talented. Franco's definitely a high-tier player. Lindsay can go off at any single moment, and we saw like he nearly carried Cream in the first season of CRL West until Luke Dubs and Cody Go showed up, and then everything kind of fell apart at that point. But Lindsay can ball. I think that Canada has the ability to upset anybody, but it would be an upset in this case. I'm picking Argentina, and it's gonna be a South American Clásico between Argentina and Brazil, in my opinion, in the quarterfinals. I hate to bet against Canada, but I think that Argentina has more depth, and if this one has a very good chance to go to King of the Hill, and I think at that point Argentina gets a bit of an advantage.
There we go.
Sorry, Canada.
By
you
the
guys
way,
are great though. You guys are great. I know your national anthem.
So basically, you guys hate Canada. All right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Lindsay's 3-0.
Yeah.
He's on the. So
Lindsay can play.
Lindsay is. I remember that match you're talking about, Rich. With Lindsay, just tore it up too. And yeah, it's gonna be difficult, but like I said, Fetus is really good too. And
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
Right now it's Argentina going through, and so now let's go on to our bottom half of the left side of the bracket. First up is one of my dark horse picks. I had 2 dark horse picks in this tournament, Portugal and Romania, and I called the Portuguese one right. Portugal facing off against Turkey in the round of 16. Turkey with a roster that did pretty well here. FMGG leading that roster. Their 2v2 duo of Yunus and Aslan, and really only one other player even got in the mix there with Eternity. So they're kind of running. Oh, Omer got in there as well for once for one King of the Hill, but they're mostly running a 3-man squad unless they hit King of the Hill at the moment. And on the other side, the Portuguese team. Let me bring up Portugal's full roster here. The Portuguese side bringing to the table Vitor, Derp, Jebus, XF, Ruben Lopez, and Lucas, who I think can beat pretty much anyone. There's a good chance that he'll win any 1v1 you put him into. So that Portuguese side is pretty nasty. Let's go ahead and this time leading things off, Koji. What do you think about Portugal versus Turkey?
I'm gonna go quick because I'm gonna say this. I fell in love with Portugal. I knew their potential. I knew they have OCL players in it. I watched them. They are in second place, but it's not a real second place. It could have been first. I mean, honestly, one match they didn't play that good, and it can happen with this format. Turkey, on the other hand, I don't see the balance, to be honest. It's like one guy is hot and he saves the day, and then the other play better. It's weird. I think the team itself, Portugal, is better, so Portugal is going to the next round.
Ash?
You guys touched on my thoughts completely, in that I actually think that, on any given day on Turkey, that FMGG and even Cenk Aslan to a certain degree, like if they're hot, I feel like they can be like 2 of the best 3 players in this matchup when comparing to Portugal, who I think, like as you guys said, Lucas is like probably the best out of everybody, right? Just on sheer talent. Yep. However, them showing up on any given day and being at their best, that's a little bit of a question mark. So I'm also going to go Portugal here.
And you know what? Just for parity here, I'm going to say I was also going to go Portugal. I like this Turkish side a lot. I like FMGG a lot, but I think Portugal is one of the more underrated teams overall in this tournament. And I think they showed their level when they played in their group stage and with that big win over the Netherlands. So moving on other side of it. So now Portugal moves on. It's going to be Portugal facing off against either France or Colombia. This one I think is one of the more lopsided matchups that's in the tournament. France looking really, really good. And I've been touting this for a long time. I think Azelis is really at top form one more time. Azelis, Chetty, FL God, Intox, Paul, Rui, and Isla. Azelis is their main head-to-head player. And then on the other side of that, Colombia. Let's bring up Colombia's roster. Colombia there you go. Makalele, Victor, Codigo, Canelo, Oscar, and Mahed, but mostly they've been going with just the 4-man squad of Victor, Canelo, Codigo, and Makalele. Ash, let's go to your side first. We have France versus a talented Colombian squad, but can Colombia get past Azelis and company?
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'll be short on this one. I think that it's going to take a real strong showing from Colombia to beat France. I think that France is going to move on here. I do love Codigo personally, like as one of the kind of I don't know, you can't call him a dark horse. He's a beast. But I also think that just top to bottom that France has a stronger roster. Going France.
Koji.
Well, no, that's very simple. I'm going to be totally honest as well. I would have gone Colombia, believe it or not, if they didn't suck against USA. I mean, it was horrible. So they really disappoint me. I believe Codigo and Victor, they should have like an amazing 2v2. No, it was really bad. I saw so many mistakes. Then they didn't put Canelo, that was playing amazing in 1v1. They bench him. I have no idea what's going on in that team. And in the other part, France, I have my doubts with them. And they took all my doubts away. They say like, what? Koji, what are your doubts? You are playing amazing. And I've been talking to Eptic. He said he found his 2v2 people because they didn't have a 2v2 team. I mean, no, couple. And yes, it's lopsided. It's going to be France. No doubt about it.
Wow. Well, let's call that.
You laughed after I talked. I thought you were going to go against me again.
No. I'm just trying to put the context so people, because I'm from Latin America and I know specifically what happened, but I'm giving the context. No, the momentum is with France. France is improving. Colombia is going down. That's it. France.
Let's go ahead and call that 3 for France then. France moving on to face Portugal in the quarterfinals on the other side of the bracket, and kicking things off tomorrow morning, very early, so early that I won't be there, because that'll be at 8 a.m. my time, and I can't wake up that early. But tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time, China, 3-0 China, that's looking like the China people had expected, especially out of this last season, up against a Chilean squad that has one of the more exciting young players who is currently, I believe, the only person at 7-0. Oh, sorry, never mind, 8-2, but currently has the most wins in the tournament. Nacho leading Chile all the way to these out rounds. Cabron, Nicholas, Nino Kid, PBTX, and China Ski for the Chilean squad. And across from them, from China, 3-0 in the group stage. Maybe some names that you know here: Hire, Aurora, Elsiop, Solo Man, Little Chen, and Mang Chaos. So a real nasty lineup for China. I think that we just went back to, who did I pick first last time? Who had to take the bullet this last one?
I think I went first last time.
All right, Koji. Is this a rout? Is Chile's story over?
I'm not. Yes, dude. I'm not even gonna waste time on this. Even though I would love. My father was born in Chile. I have family in Chile. My last name has a freaking street in the middle of Santiago with my last name. And true story, I don't care. This is a 2-0 for China. There is nothing to do. Nacho is 8-2. By the way, like Diego B is 9-1, but he has 6 games in 2v2. So what you're saying is like
head-to-head.
In 1v1, in head-to-head, the best, the guy that has won the most. You are absolutely right, but it's LC dude. Are you kidding me? It's 2-0. I'm not even gonna talk more. I'm sorry, Chile, you're gone.
Ash, do you concur?
I love how Koji gives like a personal love to lest he offend people on the like. I was selling ore and copper in Chile growing up on the street, and I used to give money to all the Chilean ladies. But all right, yeah, I'm going China too. I think that China has one of the strongest rosters, without a doubt.
I also think that China's playing the chip on their shoulder. After WCG and World Finals, if you think that LCOP and Little Chen, and also with how close Hire and Solo Man came, if you think that Chinese squad isn't fired up right now, I think you're fooling yourself. So, yeah, that's going to be that's going to be another 3-0 for China. All three of us saying that China moves on to the next round. Now, this next one's a little bit interesting because our next matchup features one of the 1 seeds that fell early, and Koji's already saying he thinks this one's done, and you know what? I might agree with him, but there's some interesting questions around this team. Mexico, with an absolutely stacked roster, you literally know every single name on this roster. Adrian Piedra, Sergio Ramos, Darklight, Pompeo, Diego B, and Diego E. So a full CRL experienced and some of the more famous players in the game for Mexico, across from Nicaragua, who came in second in Group F with Sergio Tremino, Castillo, Tommy Moa, and trainer Pegasus. And you know what, Ash, I won't put you on the spot here because Koji was already shaking his head like crazy. Koji, is this just Mexico runs through this one?
Hey, go Ash first.
Put me on the spot, dude. This is the easiest one
All
on
right,
the board.
fine. Ash, you go first. Take it.
Nah, dude, it's Viva la Mexico. I mean, dude, I love Tommy. I love Tom. I really do. Like, he's one of my favorite players, legitimately, in the world. But Mexico is insane, dude, and they have like, I mean, fan base means nothing, but they have like the most incredible fan base, the most momentum, the most. I can't say the most pride because all of these teams have a lot of pride, but there's just something special about this Mexican team, and the only shame is that they're gonna have to go against China in the very next match. Mexico.
I have to go with you. Well, again, I give a little bit more of a speech because I want everybody that doesn't know. I give the context of everything. The first match Mexico played, his coach Eric was at a party. Sorry, Eric, I have to say it. He was in Cancun having fun. He didn't pay attention to anything.
I like this extra content.
Yeah, Koji,
here. Like,
Koji hold. If you want to save, if you want to protect your pin code, don't tell it to Koji.
No, some footage of Eric drunk in the Cancun.
Yeah, probably Eric was, surrounded by women. So I understand Eric. He didn't give he didn't care about this match. So
Here's
and then
he comes skinny to be drunk in.
So yeah, it came a sweep and he didn't know. The next match is a 2-0, 2-0. They destroyed it. And then the last match against an extremely hard Venezuelan team that if you watch that, the 2v2 from, by the way, the 2v2, the best 2v2 in the tournament is the Mexican 2v2. It's not the China. It's the Mexican. So that's going to be an amazing. So Ash, that's for you for the next one. Be sure who you pick. And then it has to come that Eric got. He got beat. He was with a strategy playing a lot of graveyards. He didn't know how to stop it. The other team, Venezuela, he's from Venezuela, was destroying him. And he goes to Diego V and he says, play whatever you want, but no graveyard. And you know what happened? Boom, boom, boom. Reverse sweep. GG, well played. Sadly, my time was gone. So, with all that said, Tommy, your favorite player, is playing horrendous. I'm sorry, Tommy. You're playing so bad that even the Nicaraguan team sent a tweet saying that the best player in the team is Treminio. So, when the player has never played CRL is your best player, you don't have a chance against a team that is full CRL. So Mexico goes through.
Mexico goes through against China, and that's going to be a 3-0. Concur on that one. And then now we get down to the bottom half of this bracket, and this is a fascinating bottom half of the bracket. First up, I think the team right now that is probably the number one seed in the tournament overall. Maybe you guys would disagree with me on this one, but easily top 3 seed. And Koji's just like, nope. Possible number 1 seed in Germany, facing off against an Italian squad that I think really surprised a lot of people who didn't really know about this roster. Germany, I don't even need to bring up their roster to know at least 5 to 6 players. It's Sam and Morton, the 2v2 duo that's only played together one time in this tournament. Faust, Wolfstochter, and Schwarzen for Germany. And I just want to make sure I don't forget the last player. Just out of it's Lucas, whose name is Black Pearl in this.
And the coach, who's the coach? Say his name.
Oh, who is the?
He could be playing.
Oh, is Flobby coaching? It's Flobby coaching.
He could be playing, dude. I mean,
yeah, it's crazy. But then on the other side, Italy
even
has
their coach, you stick him on all these teams, and he's like, okay, we got Flobby. Yeah.
Italy has a legit roster though. Their 2v2 players, Pasti, Mattia, and Mostema. Mattia's been mixed in. Rob and Cheeky haven't played yet. And Ace, who has been their ace throughout this event so far. Does Germany clean this thing up easily, or is this going to be? Does Italy have a chance to give another upset here, Victor?
I'm gonna go quick because I talk so much. These are Europeans, so Ash, it's your turn. I love Italy. I wish it was them, but no, there's no chance in hell. Germany goes through.
100% agree. I like Ace a lot. Like you mentioned him, and but at the same time, Germany has a stacked roster. A lot of people are picking Germany to win it all. No surprise. I'm a huge fan of Faust. been saying it for a long time, but I think that Faust, obviously everybody knows Morton, Sam, they know most of the whole roster, but Faust is a guy who I think that could compete and excel in CRL too. Like I think he's that caliber player. So I just think that, Germany.
I think you're right.
And I love Italy, by the way, one of my favorite places to visit in the whole world.
It's a fun country, and I think you're right on Faust. He's been great. He's and that roster: Wolfsdochter, Schwarzen, and Faust, 3 players from Clash Contender Series from the Mobile Mats tournament last fall. So there's a lot of players who are in this event who have CCS experience, and that's been cool to see as well. So Germany goes through, and now I think this actually is the hardest first round pick to make. U.S. versus
this whole right side is awful.
Well, we've had 3 matches.
The right side is horrible. It's horrible. The right side.
Dude, 3 matches have been easy to pick. I think this 4th match though on this right side is really brutal. It's a really hard pick to make. The United States versus versus Romania, and the U.S. roster. People complained about this when it got announced. I think they were all wrong. Wings, Razor, who haven't even played yet. Air Surfer, oh yeah, the God RF, and a guy who's having an amazing last 9 months or so, Bag, who unfortunately won't be in CRL because his parents won't let him. I heard he got 5 offers for teams for this season.
Seriously?
And won't be in CRL this season, but certainly in my opinion has earned obviously a bunch of coaches agree has earned a chance or has earned the right to be considered as a competitor there. Up against the Romanian side, which has been pretty nasty. Lege, Shadow, Royal, Ice, Dystrophy, and Flavius, who I said this on my channel yesterday on the Clash Royale Esports News. Flaw swept Spain and almost immediately got a CRL offer, and you're hearing it here. I believe he'll be appearing with Cream Esports in this spring season. So, Flaw.
What is that?
How dare you? You gotta edit that out.
Okay, I'm not gonna say anything.
I'm just,
I don't know anything.
It was on yesterday's. Okay, if it was on yesterday's esports news.
You don't watch Rich's videos?
You don't watch my videos, dude? I already broke that news.
Even without watching them, I put your video's amazing. So
it was also Anyway, Rich leaks everything. He doesn't care.
Yeah, I know.
I just said they were rumors, but if you guys want,
you go first.
If you guys are confirming those rumors right now, well, amazing. My reporting is perfect.
Who's up first? I don't know.
Why don't you go ahead, Ash? This is I know you feel the pain.
But I mean, it's USA. Let him go first because he has to defend whatever I'm going to say.
I think USA. This is truthfully, this is one that I will take a little bit more time on because my inclination is to look at the USA roster and be like, dude, that roster is stacked. I think that I thought for a long time that Razor actually just nothing against the Complexity team, but I felt like he was kind of he wasn't given the opportunity, I feel like, to shine as much as he maybe could at times. He did. We saw him sweep King of the Hills time and time again. And I feel like he's a really flexible player and a really underrated player. However, the Bag, and I mean, all these guys are good, right? You look at the roster, however, Bag is so incredibly hot right now in Clash Royale, and the God RF is who he faced off against to win. So how can you go against this team? That being said, you look at Romania, and Romania, dude, I think that, you talked about Flavius. He's hot right now. Talk about Shadow. I think that Shadow has been Shadow is really an incredible player, incredible. And then Royal and Leggy, dude, this is such a tough one. Leggy is really good too. He's a name that not a lot of people are familiar with, but he's really solid too. Who is their 2v2 in Romania?
Royal with Royal has played all the 2v2s. Am I right?
I think so. Let me take a look at his.
And then he played with the same player twice, and then he switched over with another one.
I think this is going to come down to who the 2v2s are. So
I'll step in on this one here. I think that the 2v2 gives the US a massive advantage. You're really, in my opinion. I'm gonna
interrupt you there. Even though Trainer Luis has used, I don't have anything against this player, but. I was hoping to see God RF and Razor together. We haven't. He's sticking with God RF, and And I would be with you, but tell me. I mean, I wanna hear your opinion. That's why I wanted to get to me, because I wanted to spice it up with this controversy,
Sure.
because I really don't know what's going on. How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't know for sure, but I don't, because I don't know if RF has moved in to they've had an LA team apartment or house, or they've had a living situation there back and forth. I don't know if Oh Yeah and RF are playing from the same room, which could potentially be one reason why Trainer Luis is big up on that choice.
I don't think they are, but I don't know. Like, I don't know that confirmed or anything.
Yeah, I don't know one way or the other if RF.
I think that, just to kind of guess on that, I think it's because RF and Oh Yeah have played tons of 2v2 together from Immortals, from 2 years in Immortals. But I agree with you, Victor, that it's weird calling you Victor. I agree with you, Koji.
What are you, dude? Call me
So
Koji. I'm not, even my wife called me Koji sometimes.
I agree with you. The thing with the U.S. roster is I think they have a tremendous amount of talent, obviously, right? And going out on a real limb there, Ash, and saying that. The thing is like they have almost so much talent that you could make a case that the God RF is their best 1v1. No, Bag is their best 1v1. No, Wings. What about Wings? No, Air Surfer's a beast. So like it's going to come down to roles and who can fit in these roles and can it work? You can have all the talent in the world, stick them on a team, and it just might not work. So that's my only question, but I am going to just stop rambling and go with USA. But I think that Romania could potentially, like, there's opportunity for an upset here. But I'm going to go USA.
Well, you want me to close that out? I will be honest. Again, oh yeah, if you're listening to this, I have my own theory, and I will say, I love this thing about creating controversy in the community in Spanish, so I would do it even in English. I strongly believe that Trainer Luis is doing this not because they are in the same room. I think because and it's okay, he's a very good friend of Oh Yeah, and he wants Oh Yeah to be out there so people see him as a legit 2v2 player and he can get a contract. That's what I believe. And I'm going to give this to him. They lost the first match and then they destroyed it. USA lost 0-2 and then was 2-0. So Oh Yeah is doing his part, but I really wish to see Razer. God, dude, I was having dreams about that. I was like, oh my God, like for real. I believe like the best Americans 2v2 for real, and the top 5 in the world, they could have it in the same team for the first time ever, and I haven't seen it, and it upsets me. So with this said, I'm with you. It might be a little bit tight, but not as tight as you think. I would give, like, if you want me to give percentages, it's like 70% USA, only 30% chance to Romania.
I love USA, but I'm going 60-40. I think it's a little bit closer.
Okay, 70-30 for me.
I'm going to go on a real limb here and say 65-35 USA now. Really just put myself out there.
It's not an easy matchup for USA to start, even though they have a ton of talent. And just as a rebuttal there, like, I see where you're coming from with the Oh Yeah Luis thing. I don't think it's for him to get a contract, but I do agree they're close friends. I think it's more based on their comfort, Luis's comfort with both those players, and both those players being comfortable with each other. And having thousands of reps behind them. I don't know if Anyway, let's move on.
Well, now
it's okay. I didn't want to create a controversy there. Well, actually, I did, but it is fine. It could be
juicy, dude.
I see your point as well. They know each other way more than God with Razer. So why to try to push in that couple? I mean, it's fine.
So here's our top 8: Brazil, Argentina, Portugal, France, China, Mexico, and Germany against the USA. We're going to go right back up the snake here. We just finished talking about the USA taking out Romania. Can they get past Germany in the quarterfinals? And you know what? With that smirk and laugh, Koji, can they get past Germany in the quarterfinals? Is it possible?
No, they can't. No, they can't. I'm sorry. They can't. I'm sorry, Trainer Luis, anybody. They can't. Again, I'm going to go back to my point. If I had seen like God RF with Razer like destroying, I would say, oh my God, they can beat Morten and OP Sam. And then 1v1, I don't care who wins, because we know it goes to King of the Hill and Germany would win it. Even though USA is stacked, I believe Morten, no, it's too good to be true. So that's it, Germany, and I think it's gonna be a 2-0. Believe what I'm saying. If that matchup is a 2-0 by Germany.
One for Germany. Ash, is this where the colors do start to run?
Yeah, top to bottom, I like you. I think USA has the most overall talent, but in terms of roles, 2v2 squad, I agree with Koji 100%. I think that Germany has one of the best 2v2s, if not the best 2v2. And then, when it comes to individual play, Germany. I think that Germany. The problem is I love USA. I think they're maybe a top 3, top 4 team, but they happen to run into a team that I think could be the best.
I'm gonna say that I agree with you guys on Germany, but I think the USA takes this to deep into King of the Hill. I think they're gonna split the first one because we don't know where. I think the US comes out with bag in 1v1. I think that they really button down the 2v2. I'm not gonna say that they lose 2 sets in a row like that. And then it comes down to King of the Hill. But how do you bet against Morton in King of the Hill, especially when he has the rest of those guys there with him? So I'm gonna say Germany, but it's gonna be going to game 4 or game 5.
Yeah, here's the weird thing, right? When you think about it, it's like 2v2, I'm going to give it to Germany. And I feel pretty confident on that, right? But then after that, it's like, can you look at the talent on USA and you look at a few of their players and they can run the table. But you can say the same thing about Germany. So I agree with you, Rich, that's where this is like one of the most interesting matchups that I'm excited about out of everything here, providing they both move on, right?
Providing they both
move on.
Yeah.
And we've seen so far in this tournament, in one best of 3 match, like literally anything can happen. So who knows? We could be entirely wrong the whole way through. So then the question is, who faces Germany in the when you get into that semifinal match? And the other side of it is going to be China versus Mexico. I don't think this one is as hard to choose as Kojisan does. And I understand why Kojisan wants Mexico to keep on going through to the very end. Those TV deals are great. But I personally, I think that I give this like a 60-40 advantage to China. So I'm going to put myself out there and say that's where I'm leaning, but maybe one of you two guys can convince me.
Not me. I mean, you go first. You go first. Ash, let's see if you inspire me to say something positive about this match.
Ooh. This is for me, this is the second most difficult out of everything that we said today so far, right behind the USA Germany potential matchup. Because again, you look at these again, I'm going to be ignorant and ask you guys, but who is China? Who have they been running in 2v2?
Koji.
It's Solomon with
Higher?
Oh my God. With Jupiter.
Oh, with Jupiter. No, Jupiter is South Korea.
No.
Oh, Jupiter is South Korea. Sorry. So yeah, what was the other one?
Solomon
No,
Higher?
Siop is the 1v1 guy. They have won everything 2-0, 2-0, 2-0.
I think it's the WEDGM pair. I think it's Solomon and Higher, isn't it? Or am I wrong?
Yes, exactly. It's it. So it's a team that have been playing together like for 2 years now.
Yeah.
That's pretty nasty right there.
Yeah, this is I'm trying to think of a way that I'm going to go. I think this one, honestly, and I'm not just trying to ride the fence here, but I think this is a 55-45 matchup for me. And I'm going to lean it ever so slightly to China, but I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about it. I think that Mexico could definitely, just look at their roster. It's both these rosters are incredible. And just the momentum feels like it's actually, even though China's undefeated, it feels like just for some reason, maybe it's just in my emotions, but it feels like the momentum and the more likable team, no offense to China players, but is Mexico. Like I'm rooting for Mexico. I think China will win. How about that?
Well, that would make 2 of us for many reasons. But I'm with you. And again, just to put everything together. By the way, people that are watching, I don't know. Rich, I think you already know the rules. Ash as well. We're gonna only fly the top 2 teams. Usually we fly 2 teams, and if we have the budget to bring 8 teams, it would be amazing. It would have been the first, but we're gonna bring only 2 teams. There is a main reason because of this is coronavirus. Sadly, is many issues with this, and actually, if China starts advancing, we will have to figure out in the middle what to do because US already has ban anybody that comes to United States from China. If you're not a resident, you don't get in. It's already. I have a friend that just flew yesterday to USA and that happened. So we're really concerned about that. The same ban is for Italy. So that's another team that is, and Korea is also having issues. So we don't know what's going to happen. So with this said, of course, I would like Mexico, so we avoid all that controversy. I don't want, and the word is, I don't want to screw China over again, because this happened last time. They didn't have a visa to go to Spain. Brazil came instead of them, and Brazil was a champion, and everybody called them the fake champion. So it's sad. I don't want that to hear. I've been talking to the manager of China. The guy is super supportive. He's so cool. So with that said, honestly, I gotta lean with China, guys. I even been talking to Eric. Eric say, I strongly believe I'm gonna win the 2v2. Pompeo and Diego V is the best, but then the 1v1, who's gonna beat LC up? Nobody. So we're going to King of the Hill, unless Diego V can pull it out.
Diego
can pull it up.
You don't think Piedra could beat him?
No, I have surprises, but I cannot say here because it will be surprises. But there was a roster change in Mexico team.
Okay.
But I cannot say. I'll tell you in private. I don't want to say here because I don't know when the video is going to come out.
Anthony is on the Mexican roster?
Anthony is going to play with
no shirt on? That's amazing.
With Rockstar. Yeah, I know.
Diego B can beat El Siop, but will he?
I don't know. I mean, imagine that. I got a link to China, period. Gotcha. I'm sorry. I wish it's Mexico because I'm Latino and because of the coronavirus, and I don't want to screw China again because, for real, it will be horrible. It will be horrible. I don't want to screw them, but if I need to have a live final, they will be disqualified, and it sucks. So China is going to pass. That's it. I'm not saying anymore.
So China through. So that semifinal match is going to be China versus Germany. We'll come back to that one in a few minutes. Let's go back to the other side for our quarterfinals. Portugal versus France. So we're two pretty classic matchups. Portugal versus France and Brazil versus Argentina. Portugal versus France. We all were sitting here talking about Azelis, but Ash, here's the big question. Is Azelis, the pool get too shallow for France after that versus the depth of Portugal? I know.
Right? I'm going with it's another tough one, but I feel like, just to be clear, I feel like, four of the teams that we talked about would beat these teams on the other side, nothing against them, but I do think it's a little bit weaker on this side, with some exceptions. But anyway, I'm kind of biting for time because I still feel like this is a tough one, but I'm actually going to go with France here. I'm going to go with France. I think that, again, this is really tight in Portugal, just kind of like the Mexican team. Portugal seems to have like this feel about it, maybe that they could pull something off here. But I am going to end up going France because, I think that, like you said, I think that Zili's at the top of his game here. I think that they feel their confidence in France. You can say the same thing about Portugal, but it's a close one. I'm going to go France.
So there you go.
You're going to have a tiebreaker because I'm going to be like him. It's going to be a very close one. But I strongly believe in this Portugal team. I love the coach, his Hostum, if I'm not wrong. He's a friend of mine. I met him in person in Spain. They're very motivated. They have chemistry together because I think 3 of their players are in OCL, if I'm not wrong, as well.
Yeah, a lot of OCL players for sure.
And yes, if you take Azelis away out of the question, I haven't seen anything from anybody else from France. The 2v2, is gelling, is getting better, but it's still, I think there is more chemistry. So I'm gonna go. It's gonna be tight. I'm with you, Ash. You say like 55-45 for France. I would be 55-45 for Portugal.
Okay.
You're putting me on
Rich.
one here.
Yeah.
And
decide this one, Rich.
Well, here's the reality is France. If for a second I was like, well, France has gone 3-0. They haven't lost a set yet in this tournament, and look at who they've done it against: Romania and Spain. So the consensus number 1 seed in Spain, and then against the Romanian side, who we thought was a toss up with the USA pretty much. And then you look at the Portuguese team. And they were able to beat the Dutch squad, and then they beat Finland, and got handled by Germany. But they've struggled mightily in 2v2. France seems to have their 2v2 locked down. I think Portugal is going to have to win 2 sets back-to-back to win this thing, and I just don't know if I can bet on them doing that. So for me, it's again a very tight call, but France, with the form they're in right now, with the motivation that Aziles has been showing, I gotta put the French side through to the semifinals. I think it's hard to bet against that.
All right.
And so our last quarterfinal matchup, France going through, Brazil versus Argentina, maybe one of the most classic matchups anywhere in sports happening here. So, Koji, this is your territory. This is your world.
It's easy.
Yeah, this is easy. Go ahead. Tell us what's easy.
I think it's easy.
It is easy.
It is very easy. It's Brazil. I'm sorry, Elke and everybody. It's Brazil, no doubt about it. Player by player. Even I sent a tweet. I wanted to bother Elke, but yes, I did. Actually, he called me. He texted me like literally like 2 seconds after. We're like, "You bastard! Why did you put that tweet?" Because I say like in coaching, like staff wise, Brazil is. I mean, is one step ahead of Argentina, in my opinion. Alan Franzotti is one step ahead of Elke. Elke is amazing, but that's it. And then player by player, Brazil is ahead. The experience, the situation, dude, is Brazil. And I just want to put something out there. You already said it like several times. We all have said it. What a loop-sided side of the brackets, guys. Yeah. Any from the top 4 in the other side could have been in this side, and they would have gone to the finals. So I think it's easy peasy for Brazil.
I agree 100%. I think that Brazil has a much, I shouldn't say much. I don't want to be, because Argentina has a solid team, but I think the bigger challenge is actually going to be beating South Korea for Brazil, you know? Exactly. So I think that Brazil moves on here too, past Argentina.
All right. So we have our 2 semifinal matches, Brazil versus France and China versus Germany. Let's stay on this side of the bracket for now. Brazil versus France. I think this one's tough, and I don't know if we're picking a second place team here or if we have a dark horse possible to run through. But you have the very experienced depth of Brazil and the current firepower of France. So we'll start with you, Ash. Does the CRL experience carry Brazil past France, or does the magic continue for Aziles and co?
It would be cool to see France progress to the finals. French, just like Brazil, I guess you could say the same about both of these like communities, but they're 2 of like the top, 5 communities in Clash Royale as well. So it would be cool to see them going off in the semifinals. But I am actually going to go Brazil on this one. I think that Brazil gets all the way. Yeah, I think that. So obviously, Koji tipping his. I believe in this Brazilian team, Koji, unlike you, Yeah, I think their roster is stacked. I don't know how you can react that way, honestly. I don't know how you can laugh.
I thought you were... No, I'm not laughing. You know what I'm going to say, but I thought you were going to say France, and we were going to put in a spot to reach. I'm amazed. Thank you for saying that.
Oh, okay. I thought you were aghast at my prediction here.
So now are you going to predict France just so I have to choose?
You should say it at this moment. You should say it, even if you put it at 2-1. Yeah. But so, Asha, I'm with you. Okay. I'm going to make it simple. I think it's even – I agree with you 100%. I think if Brazil beats Korea, that's the hardest match they have. They are in the finals. It doesn't matter who comes from the bottom side of this. They are in the finals. So I agree with you. It will be tough. It will be maybe to King of the Hill. But in King of the Hill, I think they will survive. Only Aziles is the biggest threat. And instead, you have – Renan Cava, you have Surgical TS. Come on, dude. I mean, you have whoever you put after that, Samuel Basoro. Dude, I'm telling you, I see Brazil in the final.
Brazil's King of the Hill is insane.
That's absolutely true. Yeah. And for the same reason, I'm going to say that this one definitely could go to King of the Hill. It's hard to bet it. It's you can't just guarantee Aziles is going to lose in a best of 3 set. But I just don't think France has the experience or the firepower to beat Brazil in that King of the Hill set. So if we get to that point, I think France's best chances is to 2-0 sweep. If they don't 2-0, I think Brazil wins this.
I agree with that. And you look at their rosters too, and it's not that I think the rest of the France team is actually, I think we're giving them not enough credit. And it's not just Aziles. They got some solid players, but think about it. In King of the Hill, can he be, I don't know. I don't think that Aziles can sweep. If it comes down to that, I just don't see it happening, man. They're too strong. Brazil has a really solid top 3. forget about top 3. They have a really solid top 4.
Yeah, I mean, now if we are talking about someone who can sweep, Azili's put together a bunch of really high-level sweeps in CRL West in 2019, in King of the Hill specifically. He's one of those players who is capable of sweeping, but you're asking him most likely to win, my guess is 4 games or 5 games against Brazil, and that's just a really tall order between 1v1 and King of the Hill.
Would they go Samuel or Luke Dubs in their 3rd spot of King of the Hill?
Oof. I think you play Basoto early. I don't think you play him in the anchor spot. I think you play a more veteran player in that anchor spot.
Yeah, but I'm assuming they have Renan Cava and Serge Ties in there, right? Or
have we seen Brazil go to the King of the Hill?
No, it's 2-0, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I'm just curious, like what 3 they'd even pick there. I feel like they have a really,
If I look in, well, no, if he doesn't get to there, because remember they don't send the King of the Hill roster, they just choose right there. So I think they want 2-0, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, well, let's go ahead onto the other side, and this is the one where we might be picking a winner here. I don't want to tell anyone what they're going to say for the finals, but China versus Germany. And I'm going to set the stage of why this is so hard. Germany has Sam and Morton. They're amazing, and they have 3 really talented semi-pro players who all have potential pro futures. China has, just from the top of it, between El Siop, Little Chen, Hire, and Solo Man, 4 currently world-class professional players. So, this is a finals match in the semifinals, as we just saw at CRL Worlds most recently. So I'm going to go to your side of this thing first, Koji. China or Germany? Who do you send through to face Brazil?
It is crazy, and yes, I'll give you a spoiler, so you don't have to ask me when the final comes. Whoever wins this match is the champion, and that's why it's so strong the right side of the bracket. When we were in the live draw, we said it. And I'm gonna be honest. Okay, Germany played OP, Sam, and Morten in 2v2 until I think they tried a different formula on the last match.
Yeah.
And they lost the 2v2, if I'm not wrong. No, did they? I think they did. And they won anyways, and Morten then comes in the 1v1.
Yeah.
So that's the issue here. I don't think they have to try a different formula. They're going to go with a strong team, and you are going to win the 2v2. Okay? Yes, Germany wins the 2v2. I'm going to give them 60-40. But it comes El Siop against anybody except OP Sam or Morten. I'm sorry, I love the other players, Swarschen and whatever you can mention.
Faust can be El Siop.
Faust. Whoa.
I'm not saying it's a guaranteed victory, but I'm saying, like, I give Faust, honestly, like a 40% chance of beating El Siop. Like, I think he's that good. Like, I think El Siop's an incredible player. No disrespect to him. But
no, it's not about the respect. You give more percentage than I do. I will give him like 30 or 25%, to be honest. He has to be very well coached, and that you really hit a matchup and you give him like the advantage of a 60-40, 65-35 kind of matchup itself, and then Faust can win.
El Siop is streakier than people realize too, I feel like, So I feel like El Siop is, when he's on top of his game, he's, whatever, top 5, top 3 player in the world, whatever. But I feel like he's streaky, so I think it depends. Anyway, go on.
Let me finish. But I'm with you.
Yeah. This is great. I love this.
So, I believe that El Siop, nobody's going to beat him in the 1v1 unless it's Morten. Morten, I would be like, oh yeah, Germany can win. So if Germany comes with OP and a different player and they win the 2v2, yes, Germany can do 2-0. If they do what I'm thinking, which is OP and Morten, they secure the first, and it's not secure because that China team is amazing 2v2, but let's say they secure it. El Siop beats whoever is in front of him. Everybody has been following this. We have had like amazing, like 2 or 3. Rich, you have done like 2 or 3 match from El Siop that has been like crazy.
El Siop's nuts.
Like, yeah, he's playing like nuts. And then it comes the King of the Hill. Which team is stronger? And let's be honest, if you go player again, I would give the slight advantage to China. So guys, sorry Germany, but I'm talking about, I cannot even say 55-45. I think this is a 51-49% advantage to China. China goes to the final and destroys Brazil. That's it.
Koji out here picking China. Ash, you disagree?
This is obviously an incredibly difficult matchup to pick. I feel like Is Haier the third in King of the Hill for China? Or is it
I think I think Haier should be. Have they gone?
I think Haier's a bit better than Solo Man. And I watched a lot of CRL China. So, but the thing is, I'm going Germany. And I actually don't put it as close as you guys do, right? I don't put it as 49-51. I put it as like 60-40 Germany. And here's why, right? Because I agree with you. I agree with you on 2v2. I agree with you that Germany will probably take it, especially if they go with Morton and OP Sam, right? And then I agree with you that LCOP is the favorite to beat whoever, even Faust, doesn't matter, right? LCOP moves on. They go to King of the Hill, and the thing is I think that Morton can beat LCOP, right? And then I look at the rest of the roster, and I don't think that Little Chen I think Little Chen's great.
Little Chen has been benched, just to let you know. He has never been in the roster.
Okay, wow. I think
they have put Haier and Solomon, and who's the other 2v2 player?
So Little Chen's not even. He's on their roster, but he's not even playing.
I have never seen him in the roster. In the four-man roster is the two players from W. What are the players? Solomon and who's the other one? Excuse me.
Solomon and Haier.
Aurora. Wait, is that AU?
Oh, they did play AU once.
Oh, AU doesn't have any games on his Stats Royale profile.
Oh, so he was in a roster, but he never played.
Probably. AU's in there. Then I'm really screwed up.
They've been playing a 3-man roster with Haier, Solo Man, and and LCOP, and collectively, I think they've lost like 2 games total or something.
2 games, yes, and it has been 3 games. 2 times in the 2v2s, and 1 time LCOP couldn't sweep 2-0. He lost. He won 2-1. Yes, it's true. They have win everything by only 3 players. But since I saw the full 4-man roster, well, not only me, we put it at the beginning. I think I saw Aurora once, but Little Chen, I can assure you, I never saw him. So if it is another one, it's Aurora. So can you rephrase that 60-40, please, for me?
Well, listen, I think that AU is he's coming off a little bit of a disappointing season. Solomon, actually, I believe, up until the very end, was performing better than AU on the same team. But with all that said, I still think that Germany can pull it off in King of the Hill. I still think that maybe I'm biased because I'm a big Morton fan, right? And I'm a big fan of a lot of the Chinese players as well. I'm a big fan of Little Chen, who's not even playing, so I don't even know what this means. This is tough. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go with Germany. I don't know. Is it 60-40? Is it 55, 59? 51-49? I don't know. But I think that Germany can actually win in King of the Hill. I think that Sam and Morton and Faust, if that's who they go with, because they have some flexibility too. Yeah. I don't know. Rich, decide for us. I'm going Germany.
My decision's actually pretty easy. I think that China had a weak and unprepared division. That their only real stumbling block down in front of them was South Korea. But South Korea does not match up well with China. Russia did not look good at all during this tournament. And I think China had a much easier path out of the group stage, and that 3-0 is kind of an inflated record for China this time out. On the other side of it, I think that a big factor for Germany, and one thing that we've seen from a bunch of the teams that have overperformed in this tournament, is they have players who are currently competing in an Orange Crown League and who are practicing and grinding every single day to play at a competitive level. So you like Faust, Schwarzen, and Wolfsdoktor are all on a grind that maybe these CRL players haven't been doing. They might be gearing up for their season, but they are not currently in the same kind of fighting shape this team is. And, you add in Sam and Morton, who after World Finals, they have a bitter taste in their mouth. They want to wash that out. And then 3 young players, all of whom are in fighting shape and want to prove themselves. I think this is Germany's match to lose. I'd give them like a 60-40, maybe even I wouldn't quite say a 70-30, but a 60-40, 65-35 for Germany in this one. And I would be very, very surprised to see Germany not go through if they do face China at this stage.
All right. Sorry, Koji.
No. Hey, you're part of No Till. This is great. We can have
this is great for you.
This is great. We can have a live final in the multimedia studios. I mean, it's gonna be beautiful.
Dude, who can here's the thing, right? If Morton, how can you bet against Morton and King of the Hill? That's what
I know, dude. But that's why I say 51% to spice it up.
All right,
I'm with you guys.
Here we go. We've made it to our final. The top 2 teams in No Tilt Worlds, Brazil and Germany. Do we have to vote, guys?
No. Even if it is China or Germany, I think we don't have to vote. It's easy a 60-40 ahead of whatever comes from the right side of the bracket. That's my opinion. And I'm giving you a 60-40 to be decent. It could be more.
So that's one for Germany.
Yeah, my thing is, if Brazil gets to the finals and they have to face off against China, say China does upset or whatever, or goes through, I think that I think it's really close to a 50-50. Guests, Mrs. Koji. So I think there's a great shot that Brazil can beat actually China. I don't think Brazil can beat Germany, but I actually put it a little bit closer. 55-45. I think that they can definitely pull up an upset, right? I mean, and you could say that about any of these. So I hate to keep I don't want to just keep saying, oh, they could do it. But I think it's going to be a good match. But I do believe the thing about Germany, what they have going for them is an incredible 2v2, like you guys said. So if you give them the 2v2 every time, they come up with such a huge advantage, because even if it goes to King of the Hill in Germany, you have to get by Morton, OP Sam, and whoever they trot out there in the third. That's really difficult, and I don't think that, there's plenty of teams who can do it here, but I can't say probability-wise that I could pick against anybody beating Germany.
I think I think we have a consensus on this one. I think that Brazil matches up better with China than they do with Germany, but I think that Germany is this is again, Germany is in a good spot here. So I guess we're gonna go 3-0, voting for Germany to be the winners in this final match. And there you have it, official, crowned weeks in advance. Germany, your no-tilt world champions. Every single one of these matches picked perfectly, and I cannot wait to see everything come out the way we said it exactly, so there are no surprises.
Rich, didn't you say you want this video to be like 20 minutes long?
Yeah. I don't know how long we've gone, but we're having a good time.
Are you gonna edit this, or you're gonna leave it like this?
This is basically I'm gonna throw in the graphics over it, and people will get to hang out with us and talk about and be angry at our choices for a while. It'll be fun.
Okay, so that's it. Germany champion.
Germany is
thanks
your
for
champion.
Having us. Congrats, Germany, and thanks, Rich.
Yeah, guys, thanks for coming on here. Of course, you can follow Ash at CWA, follow Kojisan at Kojisan YT, Kojisan YouTube, follow me at Rich Slaton. I'll throw some lower thirds on here so everyone can know where to go. And of course, don't forget to check out No Tilt Worlds. That will be in the show notes below. You can look up No Tilt Worlds or No Tilt Clash Royale on YouTube. You can find it fairly easily. And it's going to be a really, really fun March, culminating in a live final at the end of March. What is that, March 28th?
Yes.
And of course, I will put the schedule for the upcoming matches that are going to be starting up this weekend for this first round of 16. Those will be in the show notes as well. Thanks, Ash. Thanks, Koji. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Rich Slaton, and we'll see you back here for, subscribe, whatever. That's fine. Hope you guys enjoy No Tilt Worlds, and we'll see you soon.